Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. I'm Bobby Klink. I'm the entrepreneur behind Your Online Genius. And I'm also an ambassador within Amy Porterfield's Digital Course Academy. So I've got some insight into how to create a great course from really one of the masters, Amy Porterfield. She is fantastic at it. She's the perfect person to learn this from. And so I wanted to pop in here today and walk through how you can go about creating a great topic for your online course. Because candidly, that's where everything has to start. If you don't come up with a great topic, you're not going to have a great course. And I don't want to make this too complicated, but it is something that a lot of people struggle with. A lot of people have a tough time figuring out what topic they should use for their course. What should they teach? What should they help people with? And so I wanted to jump in and kind of walk through a quick process to help you do this, because it doesn't have to be that complicated. Basically, you need to ask yourself a series of 4 questions and find where those kind of 4 questions intersect. And when you find that, you will be in you'll be pretty sure that that's a great course topic if it kind of, answers a yes on all of these different questions. So let's dive in and let's go through them. The first question you need to ask is, what do you know how to do? In other words, you obviously can't teach something that you don't know and that you don't know well. You should not go out and try to learn something to teach it. You should create a course about something you already know. Now, I want to be clear on this. This doesn't mean that you've got to be like the world-renowned expert on it. A lot of people who teach online courses, candidly, are, say, 6 months, maybe a year ahead of the people they're teaching. And that actually makes them relatable because they aren't so far out in front of people. People enjoy that and people can actually relate. But you should actually have some knowledge about the issues that you're teaching. If you don't have knowledge, that's not going to be a good course topic. So question 1, what do you know how to do? So you've got to come up with a list. You can think through this and think through what are the different things that are kind of natural fits for you. So that's question number 1. Then ask question number 2. What does your audience struggle with? In other words, what are pain points, frustrations, obstacles, challenges that your audience faces? Because let me be clear, even though you know something, if everybody else in your audience knows it too, you're not going to be able to sell a course because they're not going to buy something that they already know how to do. So you also, after figuring out what do you know and what could you teach, you have to say, okay, what does my audience struggle with? What are pain points? What are obstacles? What are frustrations that I could deal with in an online course? And so that's kind of the next question. So you got to make sure that those 2 things are met. So again, the first one, what do you know? Because it's got to be something you know. And the second question is, what does your audience struggle with? So you've got to make sure both of those are present. And then you can kind of go on to question number 3. And question number 3 is, what are people already buying? In other words, you want to go out and make sure that there are other products related to the topic that you're thinking about selling. Now, this doesn't mean there are other online courses, for example. Maybe there aren't. But you need to make sure that people actually buy stuff related to this topic. So you can go and look, on Amazon, are there books? You could do a Google search and see, are there products? Are there services? Just find out, are there, things out there that other people have already decided, yes, there is actually demand for this and people will pay to solve this problem, right? Because it may be a problem, it may be a frustration, and it may be something you can help people with. But if you can't find any evidence that anyone is actually successfully selling a product related to that struggle, that issue, it's probably not going to be a good sign for you. Now, maybe it just means that you have found a new market, but the reality is it probably means that it's a market that is tough and that for some reason people just don't want to buy. Now, there's a lot of stories about this where entrepreneurs and people actually know what their audience needs. Unfortunately, people don't buy what they need. They buy what they want. And so you'll have a lot of these things where people will launch a course, but they didn't do the work of going out and seeing, are there other products related to this? And if they'd done that work, they probably would have figured out that people just don't buy this for some reason or another. And so maybe you have to package it differently. So that's the third question. What are people already buying? And that then takes us to the last question. And the last question is, what gets you excited? And I didn't mean for this to be bigger, candidly, in the text, but I'm glad it came out bigger, because I actually think this is one of the most important questions that I think a lot of people aren't asking. I see a lot of entrepreneurs who are teaching things that they believe, oh, well, this is what I need to teach. This is what people want. But what I'll tell you is that if you're not excited about something, if it's not fun, you're not going to put in the work. You're not going to do the things that have to be done for you to actually make it successful. So you should make sure that you actually are teaching something that excites you, that gets you, that seems fun to you, that you would like spending time around people, teaching them this idea, this concept, these lessons. Because that, if you create an online course, it's going to be something that really is a labor of love for you. And if it's not a labor of love, if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to do it. And so that's kind of the last criteria. So again, in coming up with the perfect course topic, think about kind of 4 different questions. What do you know that you could teach? What does your audience struggle with? What are their pain points, frustrations, obstacles, etc.? What are people already buying? And then kind of what gets you excited? If your course topic kind of meets all of those things, if you can check the box on all 4 of those questions for a course topic, it's probably a great course topic, and you've got something nailed in, and something that can be successful. So that's a pretty simple walk through the way to come up with a course topic. Now, if you want to go deeper, my friend and mentor, Amy Porterfield, has a great resource. It's called the Ultimate Course Creation Starter Kit. May have gotten the title slightly wrong, but it walks through these 4 concepts, but also 7 ways that you can kind of walk through the process in a very meaningful way. And, there's a lot of other great stuff in there, like how to actually name your course once you come up with the concept. And she talks about the different types of courses. So there's a lot of great stuff in this guide. If you want to get your hands on it, head over to youronlinegenius.com/starter kit. Again, youronlinegenius.com/starter kit. It's absolutely free. You can get it, and it'll help you work through this process of coming up with a great topic, figuring out a great name, but also figuring out the kind of course that you should create. So that's my call to action for you. And that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful Labor Day weekend, and I'll be back here again next week with some more lessons about how to kind of build a successful business around an online course. Till then, I'll talk to you later.